Way back in days of old, there was a legend told about a hero known as Galavant.
Hello and welcome to How to Fix It. If you follow me on social media, you may have noticed that I really like Galavant. Like, a lot. I mean, I don't really do episodic podcast stuff, but I did that for Galavant. It really is a good show. But so was Sliders, and Quantum Leap, and Mystery Science Theater 3000, and Doctor Who. Listen, my point is that even a show I really like can have its flaws, and since the show was lucky to get a season 2, this might be my last chance to talk about it while it's still topical, so let's get to it.
Way back in days of old, there was a legend told about a hero known as Galavant.
The show is about the titular Galavant, played by Joshua Sass, a knight in the Middle Ages who is fighting to get his one true love, Madalena, played by Mallory Jansen, back from King Richard, played by Timothy O'Munson. But when he does the cliched wedding breakup thing, she decides that she'd rather have the wealth and power that being married to Richard grants her, as opposed to living in relative poverty with Galavant. This drives Galavant into a deep depression in which his squire Sid, played by Luke Youngblood, has to keep him alive while he eats, sleeps, and drinks heavily as he wallows in self-pity. During this depression, Galavant is approached by Princess Isabella of Valencia, played by Karen David, who asks him to save her kingdom, which was invaded by Richard, and Galavant initially refuses, but relents and they set upon their adventure. However, there's a problem. Isabella is being used as a pawn by Richard and is leading Galavant straight into a trap. Meanwhile, Madalena starts showing her true colors and starts trying to seize control for herself, planning to get rid of Richard when he's outlived his usefulness. Galavant, Sid, and Isabella spend the first season preparing to go into Valencia as Richard tries to toughen up so he can take out Galavant by himself with his guard Gareth, played by Vinnie Jones, and the chef, played by Darren Evans, discovering why Richard is the way he is, as his parents liked his older brother Kingsley better, and he only got the throne when his brother refused it. The chef also uses his newfound relationship with Richard to get himself a date with Madalena's handmaiden, Gwyn, and they get together. At the end of the season, Galavant and company get to Valencia, and Richard reveals Isabella's deception and tosses them all in the dungeon. But Madalena saves Galavant, and he realizes how truly evil she is, and he and Richard team up when Madalena calls in Richard's older brother to take the throne since he's just as bloodthirsty as she is. The season ends with Galavant and Isabella sharing their first kiss, and Gareth being ordered by Madalena to kill Richard and Galavant's crew. But Gareth is loyal to Richard and so sends Galavant and Richard to Richard's original kingdom with the Jewel of Valencia so he can raise an army to take Valencia back, and lets Isabella and the rest of the group escape, save for Sid, who Gareth keeps as collateral, to her 11-year-old cousin's kingdom, Hortensia, where she is to be betrothed to him. Oh, and Madalena literally stabs Kingsley in the back and lets Gareth ascend to the throne. The second season opens with Galavant and Richard starting their quest, and Isabella trying to get out of the marriage to her cousin. Madalena and Gareth start to develop a romance, and Isabella is put under the spell of an evil wedding planner named Wormwood, played by Robert Lindsay, who plans to use her to take over Hortensia. Galavant and Richard return to Richard's kingdom, which has become a sort of democracy, who rejects Richard and refuses to help with Galavant's quest, save for Roberta, played by Claire Foster, Richard's childhood friend, who totally has a crush on him, and who joins them on their journey to find an army willing to fight with them. Oh, and Richard pulls a sword out of a stump that can only be pulled out by the one true king of all. Isabella beats Wormwood's spell, and he gets banished from Hortensia, fleeing to Valencia where he teams up with Madalena. Meanwhile, Sid escapes from Valencia and tries to find Galavant so he can rejoin the team. Oh, and Richard trades the Jewel of Valencia for a supposed baby dragon named Tad Cooper. Sid rejoins with the trio, but accidentally tosses a sword straight into Galavant's chest. He's saved in the next episode, and the healer that saves them gives him a zombie army that responds to love. Oh, and Richard and Roberta get together and sing a duet that is an obvious parody of Summer Nights from Greece. It was just as ridiculous as you think it is. Madalena betrays Gareth and accepts dark magic from Wormwood, getting indoctrinated into the dark, evil ways, or Dedu, which Gareth was against, preferring to win by brute force. Roberta leaves Richard because she can't bear to see him die during the battle, and Sid goes off to redeem himself somehow for accidentally killing Galavant. The season ends on a giant battle as Hortensia, Valencia, and Galavant's army converges on the battlefield, and Madalena takes control of the zombies using the Dedu, causing the Valencian and Hortensian armies to work together as Gareth and Richard reunite and start to work together, and Isabella and Madalena face off as Richard goes after Wormwood, who seemingly kills Tad Cooper, driving Richard into a blind rage, and he takes out Wormwood. Sid returns with an army comprised of people from all the places that Galavant and Richard visited during their quest, and the good guys win as Madalena leaves to become more powerful. Everyone ends up happily ever after. Isabella's parents get their kingdom back, Richard and Roberta end up back together, Gareth and Sid, who had become friends over the course of the season, set out to save Madalena from herself, the chef and Gwyn end up happy in their cottage, and Galavant and Isabella finally get their happily ever after. Oh, and Tad Cooper really was a dragon!
Way back in days of old, there was a legend told about a hero known as Galavant.
The show is really, really good. I mean, I usually like musicals, but I haven't connected with a musical like this since Les Miserables. The show is also really smart and self-aware, and I just love the cheeky references they make, especially when they joke about their poor prospects of getting renewed, and the jokes about life expectancy in the Middle Ages. Hands down, the chef is the best character. Every time he's on screen, he gets a laugh, regardless of what he says. Plus, the music is amazing. I mean, it was done by Alan Menken, who did the scores to a crap ton of Disney movies, so the show's musical quality was never doubted. Plus, not only did they get a great main cast, the guest stars are great too. You have comedians like Ricky Gervais, musicians like Weird Al, and of course, Hugh Bonneville, who I think is typecast as a pirate, because he played a pirate captain in Galavant, and he played a pirate captain in Doctor Who as well. I mean, I can't sing this show's praises enough. It's well written, musically amazing, and of all the actors in it, there isn't a single actor I can say was bad. It's goofy, sure, but I love every ridiculous minute of it. Even during the first few episodes of the second season, which I thought were super silly, I was having fun watching and I didn't once want to turn it off. Seriously, this show needs to be released on DVD stat, so I can have access to it whenever I want. This show is just great. There are so many reasons why that I can't even name them all. It's just awesome. The character development is amazing. The characters go through such an evolution between the pilot and the second season finale. It's amazing. Take Richard, the guy who sang a song about wanting to maim and kill Galavant in a variety of ways, attends his wedding as his best friend. Gareth, a loyal brute, finds his one true love in Madalena and vows to save her from dark magic. Isabella and Galavant, who hated each other, end up married with 7 or 3 children, depending on who gets their way. Especially Madalena, who started out as a damsel in distress, who betrays her lover for fame and power, and eventually sets off to become a dark sorceress, but still wanted to spare Gareth when the time came for her to destroy her enemies. Sid doesn't get much development, aside from becoming friends with Gareth and attempting to raise an army to retake the castle, with everyone else running away, and then saving the day at the end of the battle, bringing in help at a crucial moment. The person with the least development is Roberta, only because she was introduced during the second season, but she does develop slightly as her joining with them drives Richard to become better. All the characters evolve, even if it isn't that much, over the course of the show, and for better or worse, become much different than they were upon their introduction.
Way back in days of old, there was a legend told about a hero known as Galavant.
It was a pretty risky idea. Musical TV shows don't always have the best luck. For every fame, you have a cop rock. For every crazy ex-girlfriend, you have a Glee. The show does great with the concept, but the idea of a medieval musical TV show is admittedly a silly premise. And the first season was kind of weak. I liked it, but I can totally see a lot of the flaws. The first thing is that the theme song is such an earworm. So much so that they lampshaded that in the second season premiere. But it really is. I've had it stuck in my head since the first season premiered, and it's never left. Most songs on the show are earworms too, which should be a good thing, but I literally don't have anything else in my head except these songs. It's killed my productivity, and I was stuck in writer's block until I eventually decided to just give up and do Galavant so I could attempt to get everything out of my head. And I don't think it's working. Other than some episodes being stronger than others, both seasons suffer from an issue of basing an entire episode around a stereotype and literally only making the same joke for the entire running time. The first season had 2 balls, whereupon stopping in Sydney's hometown, we find that Sydney was raised in a village full of Jews. That's the joke. It's just Jewish stereotypes for the whole episode. And while it's pretty funny and the song is kind of reminiscent of Fiddler on the Roof, come on, the punchline of the joke is, they're Jews. And Season 2's premiere has another one. This one features the Enchanted Forest, which is, of course, a gay bar, and they just make gay jokes the entire time. I knew the punchline to a lot of the jokes too, it was that predictable. And it's a shame, because that was the episode with Kylie Minogue in it, and she deserved a better episode than that. The show is too short. Because it's only allowed to play during the break of Once Upon a Time, the show only has January to get an entire season's story out, and it shows. A lot of stuff is rushed and other things get wrapped up too quickly. I know they couldn't control it, but I'll be honest, and if you like Once Upon a Time, that's okay, but I'd prefer if this was the show that got to run for a full season. The special miniseries part of it does make it special, but I don't care if it's special or not. I want more Galavant, damn it. Also, this is admittedly a nitpick and not something they could control, but Season 2 needed more Chef and Gwyn. Reportedly, their actors were busy for part of the shoot, so they were only in the beginning and end of the season, but their presence was sorely missed, especially since the show is so short. Being missing for more than a week is almost half the season.
Way back in days of old, there was a legend told about a hero known as Galavant.
I think it's rather simple. Put some more diverse jokes in their stereotype episodes so that they don't feel like stereotype episodes. There's more comedic potential than the same old shtick, and the show turns fantasy tropes on its head all the time. So doing something with the stereotypes that screwed with our expectations would have made the episodes worth it. Plus, the show really needs a full season. It's so good, and it's a shame that it's relegated to being a limited time special because they don't want to invest in it. Really, most of my issues are with ABC and Disney, who promoted the crap out of it, but keep it relegated to being a special. Other than getting more Chef and Gwyn in Season 2, the show's fine. And that was Galavant. Was it good? Do I need to say it? If I may, I'd rather sing it. I'm just kidding, I can't sing. But yeah, Galavant was amazing. It's one of my favorite shows currently on TV, an honor which is currently only bestowed to Supergirl and Jeopardy. The show is great, and I highly recommend it. However, it can be kinda hard to find because the ABC website doesn't have the entire series for streaming, and you need Hulu Plus to see it on Hulu, and I'm not even sure if Hulu has the whole series. If you can find a way to watch it, it's an experience you won't regret. If you like musicals, comedies, and well-written story arcs, this is the show for you. Anyway, that's all the time we have for today. If you'd like to see more of How to Fix It, you can hit that subscribe button, and if you have any comments or complaints about the video, you can put those in the comment section below. And if you enjoyed this video, show it to your friends and share it around the internet. And maybe consider supporting the show on Patreon. See you next time. I think I finally got the song out of my head. Way back in days of old, there was a legend told. God damn it!